Good morning. I'm Gary Wiles. I'd like to speak with you for a couple of minutes about Medicare and Medicaid for all. It's been proposed as a solution, as one of the democratic socialist solutions for 2020. And I'm not going to speak to whether I'm for that or against that this morning. What I want to speak to you about is the economics of the problem. We had Medicare, and that covered a good part of the people when we implemented it. And then later on we have the Affordable Care Act. I'm not going to call it the name nobody likes. I'm going to call it by its correct name, the Affordable Care Act. Okay? And that captured more of the people, but there are still about 30 million people in this country. I think that number is mostly accurate. I haven't checked, but I'm going by figures I've seen online. We still have about 30 million people that are not covered by health care insurance in this country. And what happens is we have a population of people. And it also happens to be that that's what a population of anything is called. When you have a population of manufactured parts or engineering drawings or anything, it's called a population. And then within that population, there are subpopulations. And within the population of the people in the United States, there are subpopulations split into, I'll say, two major groups. The groups that are covered by health care insurance and the group that's not. And the group that's not is about 30 million people. That's about 9% of our population. Because we're about 330 million people now, if I remember right. Well, what happens is you can spend, and I've heard estimates of $30 to $60 trillion to get everybody covered under Medicare, Medicaid for all, or expanded Medicare, expanded Medicaid, however you want to say it. I've heard estimates of $30 to $60 trillion, and yes, that will cover some more of that subpopulation that's not covered, but it's still not going to get all of them. It's a hopeful thing, and it's good to aim high to try to get all of them, but it's not going to get all of them. So what you're going to have is you're going to have that effort, and then you're still not going to get all of them. And then the people who are trying to lead this effort, I don't care whether they're Republicans or Democrats or liberals or conservatives, I don't care who it is, they're going to come back and say, well, we didn't get all of them. So we either have to decide that's good enough or we have to try to get all of them again. Likely, somebody will decide we have to try to get all of them again. So you're going to have to go through the same thing again. And then you're also going to have to go through it one more time, because the second time you're still not going to catch all of them. And the third time you'll catch all but maybe just a few of them, maybe 1 million people. So you're going to end up spending $30 to $60 trillion to get everybody on Medicare or Medicaid, not once, but 3 times. So you should stand by for anywhere from $90 trillion to $120 trillion to do this. And I just think there are better, more economical ways to get more people on health care. I agree more people need to be covered by health care insurance. I agree with that. But I don't agree with the socialist view that we should just cover everybody and forget about it. And I don't agree partly because of my conservative views. That's true. But I'm not talking about that here. I'm talking about the economics of it. It's just too expensive to do. And there's more sensible, more economic ways. One way would be to buy, not everybody who is covered by health care insurance or not is all going to be sick at the same time. And they're not going to need that health care insurance all at the same time. So one way to do it would be to find the percentage of people that might become ill at one time or might need health care insurance at one time due to unforeseen circumstances or whatever. And then to take that percentage and apply it to, I'll call them licenses per person or seat per person, but you're not really assigning it to a person. You just have that license available, and when that person needs health care, a person needs health care of some sort, you assign that license or that seat to that person for as long as they need that health care, and then they're taken care of. And then when they're through with it, that license or seat becomes available again for the next person. And you have maybe 70% of the insured people on Medicare and Medicaid who have those seats. Because 30% of them likely won't be ill at the same time and need health care insurance at the same time. And no, you can't foresee who it is. I agree with that. But it would be more economical to only buy seats or licenses for health care and just assign people as necessary, move them in and out as necessary, and still have the same number of seats than it would be to just say, we're going to cover everybody, that's all 330 million people, and we're going to die trying to do it, because I don't think our economy will stand it. And I think what will happen is the regular taxpayers, the taxpayer we have now, not the regular taxpayers, but the taxpayers we have now are going to find out that after they go through this 2 or 3 times, they're going to say, gee whiz, we're paying a whole lot more than everybody estimated we were going to pay. Why is that? Well, I'm trying to tell you why that is right now. So economically, I don't think it's a good idea. And I've had experience in this. I was a Six Sigma expert at my last job, at my career as an engineer. And I know how it is to try to capture defects within populations. Defects within populations of manufactured parts and defects within populations of engineering drawings. And that's what you have here. You have defects. The people aren't defective. No, they're not defective at all. All of us are the same. But we have a group that have health care insurance, and they're not defective. They're not defective by the choice that they have health care insurance. But then you have a group of people who don't have health care insurance, and they're not defective either, but they do have a defect of not having health care insurance. And so you have a population and a subpopulation, and to try to capture the rest of that subpopulation is going to be 3 times, maybe even 4 times more expensive than you think it is, than the best estimates we have today. And that's what I wanted to say to you. That's economic. That's not my conservative views or anti-socialist views. That's just plain economics. That's how economics works. Any manager or any chief operating officer of any company that you want to go to and ask them that will say that. It's just the way economics works. I'm not trying to scare anybody out of it. I'm just saying, let's find a better way, guys. Let's find a more economical way to do this. Okay? And that's all I had to say. Thank you.